So, what are the eligibility requirements for naturalization? Naturalization is the process that takes an individual from green card, from lawful permanent resident status to U.S. passport and U.S. citizenship status. So, the very first requirement is that you've held your green card for at least 3 or 5 years before you file for naturalization. So, what's the difference? Why do some people get to file at the 3-year mark and others at the 5? So if you have been married to a U.S. citizen while you are holding your green card for 3 years, then you would be eligible to file for naturalization at the 3-year mark. So in other words, if you received your green card by marriage through adjustment of status or a fiancé visa, for example, and you are still married to that U.S. citizen and you've maintained your green card for 3 years, then you would be eligible to file at the 3-year mark. Everyone else has to wait 5 years. The second requirement is that you are at least 18 years old to be able to file for naturalization. The third requirement is that you show physical presence, that you meet that physical presence requirement. So what does that mean exactly? If you are eligible to file your card, you're eligible to file for naturalization based on your 3-year green card, then you would need to show that you've been living in the United States for at least 18 months. So at least half that time. You also have to show immigration that you haven't taken trips outside of the United States for more than 6 months. That's not allowed as a green card holder. You're not allowed to take trips for more than 6 months. And you can ask for permission if you need to be gone longer, but the point for naturalization is that you have to show that physical presence requirement. You have to have been living in the United States for at least half the time. The fourth eligibility requirement is that you show you're a person of good moral character. So what does that mean? That means that you're filing your taxes every year. That means that you haven't committed certain crimes. Some crimes make you permanently ineligible to file for naturalization. Other crimes result in you having to wait a certain period of time before you'll be eligible to file. So good moral character means that you are following the rules and the laws of the United States. Another important eligibility requirement for you to be aware of is that when you file naturalization, you'll be filing at the USCIS office in your state, in your jurisdiction. So one of the unique aspects or one of the unique requirements of naturalization is that you have to be residing in your jurisdiction for at least 3 months before filing. So if you've recently moved, typically you will have to wait 3 months before you will be eligible to file for naturalization. Now, if you're just moving down the road and you're in the same jurisdiction, you likely won't have to wait. But it is an important consideration. If you're not in that same area, in that same jurisdiction, then you might have to wait that 3 months before you're eligible to file. So in general, that's a 30,000-foot overview of the eligibility requirements for naturalization. And the last thing that I wanted to make sure I mention, if you are having to file or rather if you're getting to, because it's a benefit, it's a privilege, if you're getting to file your green card application at the 3-year mark based on marriage to a U.S. citizen, you will need to, once again, include proof with your application that you are still in a bona fide relationship, a relationship based on love. So that's just an added set of evidence you'll have to provide if you're filing at that 3-year mark.